There's a new breed of investigator.
Let's go.
Whose mission is to solve the world's most enduring crimes and mysteries.
Who is Jack the Ripper?
These are guys that are high up in society that were killing just because they wanted to.
We've got 2,000 plus people that were massacred.
But what sets this team apart is they use the paranormal to solve these crimes.
Is the person who murdered you here?
How many women did you kill?
Holy!
When activity breaks out at these notorious locations,
The 10 Bells was actually ground zero for Jack the Ripper.
this rapid response team moves in, using unconventional methods to get the spirit's attention.
Looking for a good time.
From role-playing
Is this what you want?
to antagonizing,
Get out here! What the hell do you want?
they stop at nothing to get answers from the dead. On this case, the team takes on London's most prolific serial killer.
Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper was never caught. Now new paranormal activity tied to his murders drives the team to take action.
Oh my God. What the hell is that?
They are Austin, the point man, Greg, the antagonizer, Hector, the tech guru, Adam, the brain, and Molly, the role player. On Killer Contact.
Package claim 2.
Good to go.
I know that we've all heard the name Jack the Ripper, but no one has figured out who he was. My team and I have just arrived in London to investigate recent paranormal activity linked to the Jack the Ripper murders. A woman was attacked by an apparition at a location tied to this serial killer. In 1888, the 10 Bells pub was a hangout for most of the Ripper's victims. And even after 100 years, reports of paranormal activity are still rampant in the area. We've come to London on the hopes that this resurgence of paranormal activity at the 10 Bells is linked to the unsolved Ripper murders. Our goal is to finally answer London's most enduring mystery. Who was Jack the Ripper? All right, guys, we're hours away from being in the 10 Bells. This is a pretty big deal because the last claim that happened here happened only 24 hours ago. It was this girl named Lindsay, and she got pushed down a flight of stairs. She looked back, and there was absolutely nobody there. And the interesting thing is that the 10 Bells was actually ground zero for Jack the Ripper. All the murders happened around the 10 Bells.
Stomping grounds, if you will.
What is it about this pub, the 10 Bells?
Well, these prostitutes kind of worked out of the 10 Bells. So there's a theory that Jack the Ripper picked up his victims there.
So what's gonna happen from here is, Adam, you and Greg, do anything you can do to research. Talk to people that you think are credible and know a lot about it. Hector, do you have some ideas on something like technical that you'll be able to throw together?
We can put together a couple trigger objects for this investigation.
Oh, perfect. Molly, you and I are actually gonna go to the witness and interview her. Honestly, police had their chance. Forensics had their chance. Everyone's had their chance to find out who Jack the Ripper was. Now it's time for us to.
All right in Whitechapel.
So tell me about this guy we're gonna go see.
We're gonna go meet up with Richard Jones. He is a local expert in Jack the Ripper lore. Hello, Richard.
Hello, Richard.
Nice to meet you. I'm Adam.
Welcome to Jack the Ripper's territory.
I'm Greg.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. We're here to find out about Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper's murders took place in 1888. It's the reign of Queen Victoria, and London's thriving. It's a very bustling city. Yet just over in this area is one of the worst slums of London. This was the area that Jack the Ripper came into. On August 31st, 1888, he committed his first murder, the murder of Mary Nichols. Her throat had been cut almost back to her spine. She'd been ripped open. Then a week later, Annie Chapman's murdered in the backyard of 29 Hanbury Street. This time, though, he's pulled out the intestines and he's taken a trophy of the kill. He's gone away with the uterus.
Really?
Just so happens he meets Catherine Eddowes. He's carved V's into the cheeks, V's into the eyelids, taken off the nose, nicked the ears. It's getting more gruesome now. And then Mary Kelly What happened to her body was absolutely horrific. She'd been almost skinned down to the bone.
Oh my God.
There was blood spatters behind the bed. There were piles of flesh on the bedside table. Jack the Ripper was a slaughterer.
Is there a reason Jack the Ripper was able to elude the police?
The important thing to think about on the case is that it wasn't Jack the Ripper who chose the murder sites. It was the prostitutes. So they knew the dark corners, and they knew where the police didn't go.
Who were the police's favorite suspects?
Dr. Tumblety was a quack American doctor who was arrested for acts of gross indecency, but it's just the right time for the Ripper murders. And then he skips the country.
Wow.
So he certainly would fit the bill. George Chapman is an intriguing suspect because he's one of the few suspects we can put in the area. And it was brought to justice because he's got into the habit of murdering his wives. And he actually trained as a surgeon. If the Ripper did demonstrate medical knowledge, then that would put him as quite a strong suspect.
While Greg and Adam are talking to our expert, Molly and I are going to meet with the witness, Lindsay Civiter.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Whose terrifying encounter at the 10 Bells pub brought us here. So we're here to investigate the 10 Bells, and we heard that you've had this ridiculous experience.
Yeah, I was visiting my friend who was living in the pub upstairs. And basically, we're sitting in his room. I hear some footsteps coming up the stairs. And we were like, well, who's that? Because there's nobody in the pub. The pub had closed. The footsteps came right up to the door. There was nobody there. And I just went, whoa. We both knew it was a spirit. I thought, I'm sorry, I can't stay here anymore, I'm going home. So then at that point, I'm literally about to put my first foot down on the first stair, and out of nowhere is just a huge boom. And I just went flying down the stairs. And I just thought, whatever's in here right now does not want me in here.
So your friend thinks that the spirits might be some of the victims of Jack the Ripper?
He believes he saw Mary Kelly standing in his room, not just a shadow, as a fully fledged human figure.
Wow.
So it really frightened him.
Why do you think they're coming through?
Because, as in all of these victims, they're not at peace, they're not at rest. The brutal way they were murdered is horrific. And it wouldn't surprise me 1 minute if they're still wandering around saying, we need to solve who did this.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's go. Armed with new information, we're meeting back up at the 10 Bells pub, the site of the original claims that brought us here, to discuss what we've learned about the Jack the Ripper murders and also prepare for our investigation.
How's it going?
Let's start off with the actual facts.
Each murder, from the first one to the fifth one, escalated in violence and skill.
Wow.
So this guy started off maybe kind of experimenting, playing around. By the time he got to the last one, he knew what he was doing, and he loved it.
It's important for us to realize that we have the opportunity to speak not only to Jack the Ripper, but to also the victims, and to give them justice and the closure that they're looking for.
So of all of the Ripper's victims, there were 3 that were known to frequent this place. That was Annie Chapman, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Kelly.
So let's talk suspects.
I went and got poster boards made of Chapman
Wow.
and Tumblety
to use as trigger objects.
I have some copper wiring set up here, and we're going to feed this to an electronic device.
This device should light up if spirits are present and are trying to respond to our questions. Hopefully.
We'll have the victims point out the suspects.
So let's go ahead and run through the claims really quick. A woman in a Victorian dress has actually been seen in this room and right outside. There was a woman locked downstairs in the ladies' restroom, and she was screaming out, and nobody could hear her. Women's laughter can be heard here, and also whispers everywhere. And as we know, Lindsay, the witness, was actually pushed down these stairs right here. If anything, we gotta be careful. There's something evil here. Let's do this. All right.
Okay.
Now, you said this cellar, people are afraid to go in this cellar?
Nobody goes in it.
Maybe we should talk to the victim, Mary Kelly.
Mary Kelly, what happened to her body was absolutely horrific. She'd been almost skinned down to the bone.
Hey, Mary. I know that you love the 10 bells, and you were beautiful.
We know you were brutally murdered by someone known as Jack the Ripper. Can you tell us anything about this man?
The easiest way to communicate with us is for you to come up and say something into this device right here. What was that? Oh my God.
What?
I saw 2 eyes standing right behind you. Is there something here with us? Oh, whoa.
If dressing up like a prostitute is going to get us closer to uncovering who Jack the Ripper is, then it's worth it. Jack the Ripper, you come out if you want to have a good time. Are you in here now? Oh my God.
We know you were brutally murdered by someone known as Jack the Ripper.
Greg and I are investigating the basement of the 10 Bells pub. Right now, we're trying to make contact with Jack the Ripper's 5th victim, Mary Kelly. The easiest way to communicate with us is for you to come up and say something into this device right here. What was that? Oh my God.
What?
I saw 2 eyes standing right behind you. And I thought my eyes were playing tricks.
Directly behind me?
Right behind you.
Like standing behind me?
Standing right behind you. Almost to like whisper in your ear. You didn't hear anything?
No. Is there someone looking at Austin over my shoulder? Come over here. We have left a space open for you. You don't have to look over my shoulder. Come right here.
Hey, Mary. You actually got murdered by someone that was never found when you were 25 years old. I know that you're here for a reason right now, and I know that you have something to say. What was that?
What? Wait.
Did you hear something?
I thought I heard something over there. Is there someone down here? Hey.
Did you hear
that? Was that not literally behind you?
It sounded like it was feet away from me.
I thought it was behind you.
No, it was to the left of me.
It's the refrigerator.
Well, there you go.
Making ice.
Oh, God.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. Oh, it's a generator that kicked on.
Is there someone down here? Mary Kelly, are you here? We want to find the man who murdered you.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay. That's
This
automatic.
place, okay.
All right.
This place is outfitted with
Yeah.
things that go on automatically. With the generator going on and off, and the ice machine and the hand dryer, it doesn't surprise me that people are afraid to come down here.
I'm hoping that the team is getting better results upstairs. All right, we are on the 2nd floor here at the 10 Bells, where there have been reports of whispers and female laughter. There's also been an apparition of a woman in Victorian dress spotted here.
So Molly and I began investigating upstairs where Lindsay was pushed. We started out by getting a baseline reading of the room with our tri-field meter, which measures magnetic, electric, and microwave energy fields in the area. Usually spikes are considered signs of paranormal activity.
If there's anything you'd like to say, we're here because we want to help you. Are you hearing
What's that noise?
I don't know.
It's like click, click, click,
Like
click.
a rustling or a...
dripping almost. Let's go see what that is.
What is that?
I've got a magnetic reading. I walked right there and it went up to 3, disappeared.
Okay.
Where'd you hear that noise?
It was right here. It's clicking. You didn't hear that? Okay, maybe it was the stairs. I'm not sure. That was it.
I don't know. Oh, whoa, whoa.
Ooh.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Is there something here right now with us?
Are you kidding?
Okay.
Just ask some questions.
Are you Jack the Ripper? Are you a woman?
Are you the lady in the Victorian dress?
Are you Mary? Oh, that's a no. Catherine Eddowes, is that you? Oh.
Oh my God!
What the hell is that?
Jack the Ripper. You down here? Oh my God.
Catherine Eddowes, is that you?
Oh my God!
Guys, we're getting some substantial readings from the name Catherine Eddowes, one of the victims. I think we should all meet up right now. Copy that.
We've come to the 10 Bells pub in London to see if we can discover the true identity of Jack the Ripper. And it seems that Molly and Adam have found something that can point us in the right direction.
We had some interesting EMF fluctuations, which for a while actually seemed to be responding to the name Catherine Eddowes. Catherine Eddowes, is that you?
Wow. Now, when we started our investigation of the 10 Bells pub, we were reaching out to the victim, Mary Kelly. Now, what's interesting is that Catherine Eddowes, Jack the Ripper's 4th victim, has now come forward.
Catherine Eddowes, he's carved V's into the cheeks, V's into the eyelids, taken off the nose.
Did you get any other hits when you asked for, like, Mary Kelly or Annie Chapman or anybody else?
No, it really seemed to be Catherine, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since we're already having some activity now, let's go ahead and jump to the suspect, okay? So, Hector, if you and Molly can go back upstairs, why don't you experiment with the suspect poster boards? I actually want to go downstairs again with you, Adam.
Okay, yeah,
I
sure.
don't want you to be by yourself. All right, let's do it.
Knowing that the ghost may be Catherine Eddowes and that we got such high readings upstairs, I felt it necessary for Molly and I to conduct tests there. The victims are the only ones who really know who the killer is, so we're going to ask them directly. Catherine, show me how much you want that drink. Over here, we have 2 suspects that we feel could be responsible for your murder. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hook up a device and let us know if one of these suspects is guilty. The device I built is basically an antenna for energy given off by spirits. It's a modified K2. It connects to a copper lead wire attached to the pictures, giving it greater sensitivity. If the spirit responds, it will light up. Catherine, make it spike just once so that I know you have control. We're getting something. That could mean she's in the room with us.
Is Chapman the person who killed you?
Yeah, nothing.
It really seemed like it's not George Chapman. So now we're hoping we can get a reading off of Dr. Tumbleteen.
Catherine, can you make the meter spike again so we know you're still here? Very good, Catherine. Did Dr. Tumbleteen murder you? Nothing.
Are either of these gentlemen the killer? No.
Yeah, I think it's gone. I personally am not convinced.
No.
Looks like the test showed us that it is not our top 2 suspects. We're gonna need to look elsewhere.
All right, so we're gonna go back down to the basement.
All right.
This is the door that locked when the girl came downstairs.
Okay.
After hearing Adam and Molly tell us that the readings responded to the name Catherine Eddowes, I thought it was time to visit the bathroom in the cellar and see if it was her locking women in. Catherine, if you're here right now, speak to me right here.
Whisper into that, or even into one of our ears. Say, "It is Catherine." Holy.
What?
I swear that there was like a little flash of dim light right behind you in that stall.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wait, right here?
Yes. I'm like, look at my face, man. I'm shaken up about this.
Here's the thing, man. I don't know if... It's not focusing. 1 second. Hey, did somebody...
Was that door? Just let it go and I'll see it. What? That was definitely this door.
Okay, is there any way that it could have done that on its own?
No.
We were trying to see if the victim, Catherine Eddowes, was in the bathroom with us, and then the door immediately slammed shut. I'm just hoping the camera caught it.
Well, that's gotta be on here.
Here's the thing, man. I don't know if... It's not focusing. 1 second. Oh my God.
It didn't get it.
It cut off.
Your camera died.
It cut... What? I cannot believe that. I noticed that my camera had lost focus, but I really had no idea that it had actually shut off. Now I'm thinking that Catherine Eddowes might have actually pulled energy from my camera to slam the door.
Did that not sound like that?
That's more of a suction thing. That's more of a someone opened the door upstairs,
yeah,
and there's the suction.
I got you.
But there's no way it could have opened up, because that's a heavy door. No one was down here.
No.
Greg, Adam, Greg, Hector, Molly, what?
We had that camera sitting out there. Maybe, I think it was pointed in that door.
Yeah. This is unbelievable. I completely forgot that Adam had set up a camera right in the hallway. If there was a spirit slamming the door, hopefully this captured it. What the hell is that? Where was that coming from? Oh my God.
Ooh, was that you?
What was that?
I have no idea. That does not sound, it doesn't sound like a human voice.
Adam and I were in the bathroom of the Tim Bell's pub. This is a location where Jack the Ripper and his victims actually haunt, when suddenly the bathroom door slammed. Is there any way that it could have done that on its own?
No.
Right after that, we checked the camera's footage, and there was an unusual voice there.
I have no idea what the hell it was saying. I want to hear that like 100,000 more times. Wow.
Let's make a note of it. That's,
yeah.
Let's see how close it happens to the door handle.
Uh-huh.
That was it.
The camera did catch a voice saying something twice, right before the door slammed. That's really huge.
Wow, so something's pretty strong down here.
Yeah.
The sound Adam and I heard was intense. So I've asked the rest of the team to meet upstairs and do a real-time analysis and hopefully further our investigation into the paranormal events of Jack the Ripper.
I've heard it. You guys just bring your ears in.
What?
Whoa. From further back,
Right?
it sounds like an accent also.
Yeah. You were kind of talking in the background.
We were talking in the bathroom, but you can actually hear on the tape here when we were talking.
Yeah.
It's not nearly that loud.
Good stuff.
I think the voice is chilling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think it says leather.
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 Yeah.
It's as if she came up and said, leather.
Yeah, and it repeated itself.
Yeah.
Hearing the voice say leather is very intriguing, but we need to find out if leather has any connection to this case.
I think we take this to our Jack the Ripper expert, Richard Jones, somebody who really knows his stuff, and ask if the word leather means anything.
All right, let's do it. Greg, Hector, and Molly are taking our finding to Jack the Ripper expert Richard Jones to see if he can shed some light on the evidence.
So how's the investigation gone?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
We had a good
it's going
night at
really
the
well.
10
Doing well,
Yeah.
We had an interesting experience at the 10 Bells.
All right.
We had an EVP that came through twice, the word leather.
It's very interesting that that would come up as opposed to a name or something like that.
Is there any significance to leather itself?
Leather apron, yes. Very interesting that happens in the 10 Bells, because very early on in the investigation, when the police went into that area, prostitutes came up with this man who they nicknamed Leather Apron. Now, Leather Apron was apparently running an extortion racket amongst the prostitutes, and his favorite threat was to pull out a knife and threaten he was going to rip them apart. He habitually wore a leather apron, and hence their nickname for him, Leather Apron.
Our EVP seems to be a valuable clue. But who was Leather Apron, and where can we find him? Is there a certain name we should be looking for?
There was one name that one of the police officers at the time, Sergeant Thick, came forward and said, well, everyone knows when they talk about Leather Apron in that area, they're discussing a man called John Pizer.
John Pizer was a Whitechapel resident with a criminal record.
The 1880s had seen a huge influx from Eastern Europe of Ashkenazi Jews coming in that area. The garment that was synonymous with that community was the leather apron. And also what's very interesting, though, is the other name that in that area is Aaron Kosminski.
Aaron Kosminski was a violent man who lived in the area of the murders and had spent time in an insane asylum.
The two highest-ranking officers working on the case both seemed to hint that Aaron Kosminski was Jack the Ripper. So I'd certainly look for that name.
Sure. So the word leather gives us a hint to the killer.
Yes, it's something that's certainly worth looking a lot further into.
Aaron Kosminski may very well be the man we're looking for. But where can we find him? Are there any locations Kosminski might have frequented?
They said that he was around the area between the Princess Alice pub and the 10 Bells where you were. Given what's come up at the 10 Bells, I would say focus on the Princess Alice next. We could possibly say that was the pub inside which Jack the Ripper drank. So there might be a lot of information there.
We now have two names, Aaron Kosminski and John Pizer, and a location, the Princess Alice, to connect our EVP of leather.
This case just went from ice cold to red hot.
Maybe you can find out that vital bit of information, that final piece of the jigsaw puzzle that's eluded us for over 125 years. Good luck.
With what might be the biggest break in the Ripper case since the 19th century, Adam and I have arrived at the Princess Alice pub. This is it, where we're going to talk to the owner to find out if she knows of a connection to the case and if they've had any paranormal activity.
So what's the connection here between the Princess Alice and Jack the Ripper?
Several of the people who were supposedly Jack the Ripper used to actually frequent this bar, as well as a lot of the prostitutes used to drink here and try and pick up guys at the bar.
Do you have any of the names?
I believe one of them was Annie Chapman.
Wow, okay. Okay. Well, interestingly enough, Annie Chapman, her body was found with a leather apron nearby. Have you or any of the staff members experienced anything strange?
There was one occasion at the bar when I was talking to a customer about Jack the Ripper, and a glass above my head on the shelf smashed. And one of the barmaids has had experiences as well. On the tray, the glasses will just suddenly explode.
So when the glasses break, it's only when someone mentions Jack the Ripper?
Oh, yeah, that's correct.
Wow.
You see glimmers and glimpses of shadows down here on this bar and the floor above as well.
Do you think that this presence is coming across menacing?
Feels pretty nasty, yeah.
I know that this is last minute, but is there any way that I could get the rest of my team in here and really investigate the Princess Alice? Here's why. I really do feel like we were led here for a reason. We're looking for who Jack the Ripper was.
Sounds fine, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
This is the big break that we needed. After confirming the presence of paranormal activity with the pub owner, the rest of the team is joining us to investigate. Hopefully we can make contact with the Ripper victim, Annie Chapman, who was found with a leather apron beside her. You have got to be careful tonight. There's a really good chance that we could come in contact with history's most notorious killer. So be on your guard. All right, let's go. Let's go.
Get set up.
We need to look into the claims of the glasses shattering, the temperature drops, and the shadowy apparitions, and to find out who is causing all this activity. We'll be looking for signs as to whether it's actually Jack the Ripper or his victims who are trying to communicate with us. Greg and Molly are investigating downstairs. Hector, Adam, and I are on the first floor of the Princess Alice. I'd like to kind of come in here, feel the room. If we start to feel anything, let's jump on it.
Okay.
Hey, Adam, tell us a little bit about the history of Annie.
Annie Chapman was known to hang out here at the Princess Alice. She worked as a prostitute. Annie Chapman was brutally murdered by a man she may have picked up right here. There was a leather apron found folded near her body. Aaron Kosminski was also known to frequent this bar.
Whoa. Did you hear that?
I heard a thud upstairs.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's the person who murdered you here at the Princess Alice.
Oh my God!
Whoa, that's heavy. Hector, Adam, and I are on the first floor of the Princess Alice. Whoa. Did you hear that?
I heard a thud.
Where was that coming from, Hector?
Upstairs.
Hector and I just heard a thud coming from upstairs. So I'm gonna go investigate that while these guys keep going in the bar. Annie Chapman, is that you? Annie, did you make that sound up here? All right, I'm gonna try to reach Annie Chapman up here and just see if there are any spikes. Annie, is the person who murdered you here at the Princess Alice? What happened, Annie? Come talk to me for a little bit. If you could come as close as possible to this device on the ground and let me know you're here. Oh, that's amazing. That's perfect. Whoa. Is that you, Annie? So, Annie, I heard you were a huge fan of rum, and you had 3 kids. That's perfect. You're doing amazing, Annie. We're here to help you. We came all the way from America to help you, to solve the Jack the Ripper case. Annie, was there a leather apron at the time of your murder? Oh my God. Okay, so there was a leather apron at the time of your murder. Did you see him wearing a leather apron? Okay, that's definitely it. Annie, is the person that murdered you John Pizer? Okay, I'm gonna throw out another name here. Is the person that murdered you George Chapman? Annie Chapman, tell me right now, is the person that murdered you Kosminski? Oh my God. Whoa, that's heavy. So it is Kosminski. Kosminski is Jack the Ripper. Kosminski is the leather apron. That's ridiculous. I think Annie Chapman's just given us the most vital information for this entire case. She seems to have picked out Aaron Kosminski as being Jack the Ripper. So right now I'm updating everyone about the breakthrough and telling them to provoke Kosminski. It's time for some role-playing.
It seems that we got the victim to name her killer. So I want to see if we can get him to confess. I'm going to seize the opportunity to role-play as one of Jack the Ripper's victims. This is the latest trend in paranormal investigating, and what better way to communicate with Jack the Ripper than as a prostitute? So I came down to the basement of the Princess Alice to see if I could provoke Kosminski into confessing his crimes.
Molly.
Hey.
Let's get you outfitted.
If dressing up like a prostitute is going to get us closer to uncovering who Jack the Ripper is and bring these victims some closure, then it's worth it.
Try to seduce Kosminski.
Okay. Kosminski, you down here? I wore my special dress for you and my special heels. Looking for a good time. I don't charge a whole lot. In fact, I might give it to you for free if you talk to me. Are you in here now? You should come out if you want to have a good time. I'm lonely. And I'm cheap. Why do you keep hiding from us? Can you move something in here? Can you knock on something or kick something? Ooh. There's like a cold spot right here. Was that you? Do it again. No, 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 no way, no. Hold on. Can you do that again? Oh my God. Did you kill Annie Chapman? Can you do that again? Oh my God, no. Oh, God. I could hear movement right next to me. Something is taunting me in this room. What are you doing in here? I'm gonna have a coronary in about 6.5 seconds. Can you follow me so I can talk to you? Just follow me. Let's go.
Austin to Molly.
Go for Molly.
Hey, Molly, I really think I'm onto something here. I believe Annie Chapman just revealed Jack the Ripper's name. I need you to come up to the second floor immediately.
Okay, let me change first and I'll be right there.
All right, copy that. I brought Molly up to the second floor to do an EVP session with me. Because Molly's a woman, I hope her presence here will bring Kosminski out of his shell. It's time for us to get the confession that we came here for.
All right, Kosminski. Did you kill these 5 women? Did you kill more than 5 women?
So it was just 5?
Do you want to talk to us?
Oh.
Okay. Kosminski, Annie identified you as her killer. it's time that you confess. Did you kill Catherine Eddowes?
Wow.
Did you kill Mary Kelly?
Oh, sweet.
Okay. Did you kill Annie Chapman?
Are you with her right now? Oh, wow. The responses from our EVP sessions are unbelievable. They all support the notion that Kosminski is Jack the Ripper. Now there's just one more question to ask. Kosminski, are you Jack the Ripper? Oh my God.
Whoa.
Molly, I think we just got a confession from our prime suspect. Greg, Hector, and Adam, I need everybody up to the second floor immediately.
All right, guys, we're gonna go upstairs.
All right, we're coming upstairs.
Austin, what happened to you, man? Guys, you've got to take a look at this video. It's from our EVP session. Let me roll this back real quick. Kosminski, are you Jack the Ripper? What? Wow. Holy. Guys, I believe we just got our confession from Jack the Ripper. This was an absolutely huge night for us. We feel confident we received confirmation from the victim, Annie Chapman, that Aaron Kosminski was her killer. And we got what we believe is a confession from Kosminski himself. Are you Jack the Ripper? In order to get an outside opinion, we're taking the evidence to Richard Jones to get his thoughts.
Annie, do you know who your killer was? Was it Kosminski?
After seeing what we found, Richard was intrigued by our evidence.
It's fascinating. I mean, it's interesting how it's the name that does it.
All of our evidence we've collected points to Aaron Kosminski.
The two highest-ranking police officers on the case also came to exactly that same conclusion.
I think we got our guy.
That's a fascinating find, and the one thing I didn't want to do was influence you, so I was very vague about my beliefs of who I thought he was. But you nailed him.
After 2 false starts of chasing down George Chapman and Francis Tumblety, we believe that our unconventional investigation techniques helped get us the answer that has stumped historians for 125 years. Our evidence points to Aaron Kosminski being Jack the Ripper, the Whitechapel murderer. As for us, we're on to the next country to solve another mystery.